exactly. Like business on top, party on the bottom.
Yep.
It's not so different from what I'm used to when I'm in like fight camp and stuff, where it's just train in the morning, come back to your room, rest, and then train in the afternoon, come back to your room and rest. And
Yeah.
there's a certain period of time where I just like will eat in my room anyway.
Yeah.
And so just to like stay focused and stuff and not be
Yeah.
tempted by food and like social situations, whatever.
Yeah. There's too
So I
many
kind of like
distractions.
see that similarity. Yeah. There's like that freedom to like, do whatever you want, which can be so good with if like you can apply structure to it, but it can also be like it can be that blessing or it can be that curse where you're just like, oh, I can do whatever I want. And you're just like, marathoning like series and like until 4 in the morning, and then you're like, oh, I should probably go to bed, wake up at 2, and then like nap
Yeah.
again after that.
Something you practice daily or quite often to kind of ground you. How do you think that affects how you critical think?
Yeah, I think for me, it's always having a routine and a schedule, that I
Mm.
hold myself to. And it's, well, because I'm used to spending time alone and I'm used to kind of doing that where, I've had to travel to different places for fight camp and not known anyone in that city or even that country. And then kind of just having to be my own kind of, like organizing it, structuring it. But then I always had the training sessions to kind of keep me anchored. So it was like everything that I do throughout the day is really going to prime me for the 2 training sessions that I have in the day to make sure I'm feeling really good so I can perform well, mental clarity, all that stuff. And I think with this quarantine that I'm on right now, so I'm on day 14. Yeah, today's the last
Oh,
day.
she's
Got that. I know. I
free-ish.
got that. I got
Free-ish.
that really lovely little text from the Hong Kong government saying that I'm free as of 12 midnight tonight. But I won't be leaving the house probably until tomorrow morning for like a run or a walk or something because that's what I'm
Yeah.
craving right now. But
Yeah.
for me, it's been activity is always that thing that keeps me level-headed, that
Mm.
keeps me, I think for me, doing something very difficult, ideally first thing in the morning, kind of sets me up for like, okay, like more of a level-headedness and like ability to kind of streamline my emotions and not feel too stressed about like, oh, anxiety because I don't know what's going to happen with my career, anxiety because I don't know what's going to happen with this, and what's safe, what's not safe, what's going to happen, my parents, blah blah blah, the health of people that I care about. I think there's a lot of fear and confusion going on right now, as it should. But I feel like that one thing that I do in the morning, which for me it's a run because I'm really lucky that I'm here at my parents' place and my dad's got this like little home gym set up, and we've got like
Nice.
one cardio machine, and that's the treadmill. But I hate running. I
Right.
hate it. Like
You're not alone. I fucking hate it too.
if there's any other machine, if there's like a bike, like I'm big on the bike because it's like low impact. I've had knee issues,
Mm.
but it's like that's the only thing, the treadmill. So at first I was kind of like, oh, maybe I'll walk on it, because I go on walks, right? That's my thing. Maybe I'll walk on it. And eventually I was like, no, I should get into running on it. And then reluctantly. And so every morning I've basically been making myself run like 5 miles on it, and like watching whatever it is that motivates me, listening to whatever it is that motivates me. But for me, it's like because I hate it, it's a lot of this like me against me that whole
Mm.
time. And it's
Yeah.
5 miles is like 8 kilometers, which for most people that's like a lot, right? But for people
That is
that
a lot.
it's like nothing. But I also don't go like full clip to, I
Yeah.
track my heart rate and I keep it within this like really level green zone. So it ended up taking me quite a long time to actually run 8 kilometers, like almost an hour, just
Yeah.
at this like really low pace, low, kind of low and slow. But yeah, that's been one thing that I've stuck to where it's like, okay, that's like the non-negotiable. And my
Yeah.
second workout of the day, I can do that. Or if I'm feeling too broken, I'm not going to force myself into it because after all, I'm just like at home the whole time. And, there's no point in me trying to break my body down. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
coming up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not
True.
trying to
True.
peak for anything.
Yeah.
So it's really just to get keeping active throughout this whole period has really just been for my mental state, honestly.
Mm.
Because I know how I can get if I go like a week without training at all. I kind of turn into this other person. I get like really like snappy. I kind
Yeah.
of turn into a bitch.
You got
Terrible
all this pent
around.
up energy, just don't know where it's gonna go. It's gonna come out some way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it took me a while to realize that that's how I operate. And so just with this, it's kind of something that exhausts me in the morning, but also it exhausts me enough to take away any kind of anxiety or any kind of negative energy that I would have spent thinking about something unproductive. So it
Yeah,
kind of spends all that. And so
yeah,
I'm kind of streamlined and kind of like down to this like zen kind of, okay, what are we going to do today?
yeah.
So I'm like now doing research on something that I really want to get. I'm like doing a lot of not doing, but like watching a lot of running tutorials. So I'm like now I'm like okay, I'm
Well,
like
you're
getting
enriching
faster.
yourself. You're enriching yourself, and you're consuming knowledge.
Right,
Not
exactly.
Oreos
Yeah,
maybe, but
exactly.
yeah, at least you're consuming knowledge while
Yeah.
you're at it.
Or it could be like documentaries on like this, you know, what's going on the COVID-19 virus and like different points of view. You know, that's also fascinating for me. Um, But yeah, I think that's the one thing and one practice that I've done. And I realize it's not available to everybody. It's not like everyone's got, you know, that treadmill at home. Like I think if I didn't have that, maybe I would have done like kettlebell swings, maybe I would have done like burpees, you know, like something to start the day where I'm like, okay, I don't have anything here. I'm going to do 100 burpees and that's going to be every morning. Just to be like, all right, I did that. I got that out of the way. And I think that internal battle of being like, no, this is hard. I hate myself. I hate burpees
Yeah,
or I
yeah.
hate running and then but getting through it anyway, pushing past, you know, like I'll get to like 3 kilometers, I'll be like, God, I'm done here, like I'm just done, like I should just like stop this and then I should come back and train later, but I'll
Yeah.
just keep pushing and you're constantly negotiating with yourself in your mind.
Yes,
You
that
get
whole
to like 4,
process.
yeah, and then to 6, and then once you nearing 8, then you start like going like nothing, you know, like you're not even tired, and then you realize it was all in your head.
For anyone who don't know you, and if all they read is your bio, they're gonna assume like, oh, well, she's an MMA fighter, she's a professional fighter, she competes. This is just how she is naturally. But I'd like to ask you, is that really how you are naturally, or did you have to go through a process to understand how you operate, and then going by your operation manual, operating how you think and how you live?
Yeah, it was definitely a process, definitely, and I think
Could you expand on that process so people can understand that these are not just like given traits and given habits?
yeah. So it wasn't until I didn't get to this realization until my late 20s. And that was around the time I decided to pursue MMA. Because before that, I was just trying my hardest to reach everyone else's expectations except for my own and pretty much failing at it all the
Mm.
time. So I felt like as a person, I was a little bit, you know, you try to, you're told that okay, you go to this school, you go to that school, you graduate with this business degree, and then you're supposed to get this job, and then from this job you get this job. And all these people that I saw, all these people that I worked for, I was kind of like, I don't know that I want to be like them. They don't really inspire me. But I was kind of stuck in this little box of like thinking, I want to make as much money as I possibly can. I want to have status. I want to have, you know, the latest handbag. I want to have, you know, expensive clothing, jewelry, and all that. And that's what I was kind of brainwashed to believe growing up.
Mm.
And so until my mid 20s, I was still in that mindset. But then I was also kind of this person that wasn't very pleasant to be around. Like I wasn't very positive. In fact, I was probably more negative than anything. Um, Probably short-tempered, and it wasn't big. And it was purely because I was trying to fit into a box that I didn't, that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't working out as much as I do now. You know, I was still working out probably more than like the average sedentary person because I'm, you know, I've always been active since I was a kid. But there were days where I just be like, you know, oh, you know, yeah, someone invites me out to drinks or like a big night out and we're gonna go get completely trashed. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like let's dress up, let's look really good, like it's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be killing it. And I go do that. I get to the club. I don't even like where I am. I'm just like, I can't even have a conversation with anyone. This is so awkward. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
but I'm not. And I get hammered. The next day I feel like shit. And I'm trying to recover from this hangover. I can't work out. When I work out, my performance is crap. And then I get just like annoyed at people, and then people
Mm.
don't like, you know, don't like to hang out with me, they don't appreciate my attitude and all this stuff, and it was just this perpetual cycle, on and
Mm.
on and on for years. because I was in denial of the fact that I wanted to be a fighter, or I didn't even know I wanted to be a fighter, but I was in
Yeah.
denial of the fact that I wanted to try. But I was so
Yeah.
afraid of failing, and I was so afraid of people judging me that it's just like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to continue on down this path of like, you know, of what everyone else is doing and what everyone else values, and then just keep trying to fit in. And it made me just not a nice person, I feel, compared to where I am now. And
Mm.
it wasn't until getting over that, finally, you know, grabbing my balls and doing and jumping off that plane and being like, okay, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna become a PT, and then I'm gonna try to make this MMA thing work. And it took a whole year almost since
Yeah.
I quit my job until I actually got to fight. So it was really a game of patience and a huge, super steep learning curve. But it also made me realize who I actually wanted to be,
Yeah.
and it made me realize the actual mold that I actually wanted to fit, that fit me more naturally.
Mm.
And then through that process, I was able to apply habits, daily habits that allowed me to work towards that goal of becoming an MMA fighter. And at first, it used to be all physical. I want to be faster, stronger, more athletic, more skilled, all that. I need to put hours. I need to exhaust myself, like go to failure every day. And then it wasn't until later on that I realized, like, no, it's all mental, you know,
Yep.
mental.
I want to ask you what are some of your mental practices? Because it's easy for people to assume that all you do is physical. All you do is,
Oh yeah.
kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. But I know you practice some form of stillness practice.
hmm So that the I would love to say that I do yoga, but I don't. I actually should do
I
more.
feel you, man.
But what I was always a hater of yoga until I got injured and I had to get surgery, and literally I did yoga like 4 or 5 times a week while
Mm,
I was doing my rehab, and that
yeah.
helped me so much because I was kind of in this hole of depression. It was really bad. I'd gained like I don't even like so much weight. I was so unfit. And I was always constantly getting these like waves of just like feeling so down on myself and hating
Mm.
myself that I just suddenly burst into tears, just like randomly, just sitting there
I
on
feel
my,
you. I feel you,
you
man.
know, just
Yep.
randomly start crying, and it's like, why am I
Yep.
so sad? Like seeing one
Yeah.
Instagram post and then just bursting into tears and just being
Yeah.
like, what is this? And so for me at that time, doing yoga 4 or 5 times a week really helped just calm me down and bring me back down. That was like the number one thing. And so now that I'm back, or now that I was, and then I got back into full training where it's like, 4 hours a day, you're hitting it pretty hard. What I started incorporating was a breath practice. And so this is something that I admittedly I'm not as consistent as I want to be, but every time I do it, and I'll do it especially during periods where I'm desperate, which will be like fight camp, like the 3 weeks before the big fight, right? Where I'm
Okay.
just, body's completely trashed. There's a lot going on in my mind. Emotionally, I'm kind of up and down. Um, then I'll do that breath practice where it could be 5 minutes at the very least before
Mm.
bed, 5 to 10 minutes, where I just set an alarm before I'm going to bed. I just put it there. I'm already lying in bed. Maybe I don't lie on the pillow. I'm just doing my breathing,
Yeah.
as deep as I can, belly breathing. Just that sets me up as well for a good night's sleep. I was also working with one of my friends who's a breath coach, breath and
Mm.
movement, WTF Empire, and so she got me on a program, and that helped me a lot actually when I was in Phuket, and just
Yeah.
being able to reset my nervous system
Yep.
and being able to just calm my mind, especially if I'm thinking about something and I can't let it go.
Yeah.
I think the more that I've done that, I've gotten to a point now where it's like if something's really bothering me and I can feel that, you can feel it from within your stomach. It builds
Mm.
up into your throat, and then your throat gets dry. And so all these physical cues are telling you something, which to me,
Yeah.
like years ago, I wouldn't have been. I just been like, I'm so angry right now. I can't. I'm just so angry. I can't. Don't even. I can't.
Yep.
But now it's like realizing like, okay, what is this? Okay, I'm feeling that. That's a familiar feeling. I'm feeling angry now. Is that fair? What am I angry at? Who am I angry at? Who am I
Yeah.
trying to blame? and who benefits from me blaming, like what can I change about this? What is within my control? And so I think these days I have less of a need. Well, now that when I'm not in fight camp, I have less of a need for it to kind of calm myself down, even though I still see a lot of value in it. And I still see it as something that I really want to implement every day. But it's also helped me look at things that bother me more objectively. And I think that has really helped me in being able to control my energy, especially during times where things are just, there's a lot of unknown and there's uncertain times, like
Yeah.
right now. It's just helped me be like, okay, well, there's a lot I don't know. There's a lot that a lot of people don't know. The more I ask, you know, I'm not going to find more answers. So what is really within my control? And always thinking from that perspective of what can I do? Taking ownership of my feelings. And then from there being like, okay, if freaking out isn't going to help me now, I'm just going to
Yeah.
suffer for longer.
Yeah.
So why not just make the choice consciously to suffer less?
Yes. Oh, yes. I would like to wrap it up just based on that. Everything you said, I completely resonate with, and I really hope that this will resonate with many, many people who will listen to this.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, thank you. So I'm starting podcast, and I'd love to have you on for like the hour chat. That would be like a longer platform.
Yeah,
These are I'm trying to keep these like bite sized to go on Instagram platform and Facebook platform, but with the podcast now that I can see our connection's pretty good, we can
yeah.
definitely do like and expand so much deeper into that. It's all about going
I
deep.
love that.
Yes.
Every time I see your stuff online, I'm just like, preach. I just like clapping, like,
You
yes,
and
I
me,
agree.
sister.
So like there's so much that like we see like a lot of things that you say that like I resonate with. And so
Mhm.
yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for the time today
Okay.
and sorry for the technical issue.
No
And
worries.
I will text
Okay,
you
so,
soon on when we
all
can get
right.
that
Have a
podcast
good one,
scheduled.
girl. See
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Bye.